All right, so absolute value equations. So if k is greater than 0, then absolute value of ax plus b is equal to k is equivalent to ax plus b equals k, or ax plus b is equal to negative k. So this is kind of the key thing, what we just kind of was looking at. And again, k has to be greater than 0. If k is equal to 0, then, that's one thing. If k is less than 0, then it just no solution. Okay, so this one we can solve easily. We just, subtract b over, divide by a, and we have our solution. So what would we do here? Well, we have to isolate our absolute value first. So that means we're going to have to take this over to here. This one we can just drop and say, okay, for this one now we have absolute value of 6 minus x equals 3. So that is equal to either positive or negative 3. And this is going to be equal to positive or negative 7/8. So start on this one, we're going to do A, start adding 3 to each side. Now it's either plus or minus 3, and x is either 3 or 9. Okay, so that one's pretty simple. This one might be a little more hard because we have to also multiply by 2 and then do our adding our 8. So again, first things first, drop the absolute value and have plus or minus. Boom, boom. That's the first thing. Now, let's get rid of this. Multiply both sides by 2. When we do that, well, they're going to multiply by 8. We're going to get rid of fractions. I would say multiply by 2, and then we don't have to worry about that. But we can also multiply by 8 to get rid of the fractions. That's fine. And so now we have this. Now we have to, guess what? Distribute, distribute, subtract, subtract, and then divide and divide. And so we get 39/4 and 25/4. So our final solution isn't very nice. And if we would have instead, multiplied up here on the second line by 2 here and 2 here, that would have gave us 7/4. Then we would have had to have 8. And so then we'd have 32 plus 7 is 39/4. And here we'd have done the same thing, but we would have ended up with 25/4. So one does a little less work as far as, there's no fractions till the very end. The other one we have fractions to start with, but we have less work to do throughout because we didn't just multiply by the whole thing and then distribute and then subtract, then divide. We just, multiplied and then added, and that's all we did. So 2 steps one way, 3 or 4 steps the other way. But one way is working with fractions, one way is not working with fractions. So all depends on personal likes or dislikes here. All right, so again, 2 solutions. What about here? All right, well, absolute value of x here equals a -7. No solution. That's just by definition because absolute value is going to be always positive. So that one's easy. Now this one is going to be just drop it. So absolute value is never negative. There are no solutions. Here, we just drop it and solve for x. So -3, take this 6 to the other side, divide by -3, x is 2. Okay, so that was pretty easy. So when you have the 0, just drop absolute values and you just solve for whatever your variable is and you're done. If you have a negative, you're just done because you have no solution. All right, let's stop there and we'll come back for some more.